about 10 seconds away from the start of heat number 2. The two Winfield Commodores, car number 2, Jim Richards, and Mark Scaife on the inside of him. Windscreen wipers going. Who will win the race to the first turn? I tell you what, it might well be the Rainmaster, Jimmy Richards, who gets off at Crompton. Down the inside of Scaife and John Bow the outside. They've shuffled him out. Look at this. The two of them go off. Out goes John Bow. Thomas Mazira's locked up.
Well, that was a little unnecessary. Beautiful start by Jim Richards. We thought he might have this on his mind after the coming second in the first heat. Great run by Crompton to hold second place at the moment. But three of our top cars out in the sand on the opening lap. Not very sporting driving.
Well, Jimmy Richards, let's have a look at this. There's Scaife, went out into the side of John Bow. Mazira also became involved in that. He's trying to turn it. He's bogged it down. Bow's going nowhere. He's just up to his hocks in it. So we picked them up coming out of the loop and heading up the hill for the first time. Plenty of drama in this heat. The Rainmaster, they like to call him Gentleman Jim Richards. Car number 2, the Winfield Commodore, leads them down the hill. Crompton, who was very alert in those circumstances as a disgruntled John Bow in car number 18, heads on back to the pits. And Mark Scaife there as well. Here's our race leader, car number 2, Jim Richards, as he sweeps up into the top corner. And Alan, off those changes they made to the team cars didn't work out in the first turn.
Well, they didn't on the first turn, but just looking at Jim in action here yesterday, when he nailed pole position in the dying moments of qualifying yesterday, he looked to be a force today, and here he is really demonstrating his championship style.
Here's Crompton, the GIO Commodore, still running strongly in second spot as Richards opens that gap. Thomas Mazira, who was in with a chance in this one, I felt, but unfortunately has paid the penalty somewhat as the Scarpa off into the sand. There goes Glenn Seaton in car number 30, followed by Peter Brock. And Tony Longhurst now coming up on the inside of Brocky. Yeah. Longhurst has the only BMW still running here today.
A lot of troubles in the first heat with the other BMW cars. They landed up in the sand for one reason or another. And Longhurst throwing it around with gay abandon, letting Brock know he'd like to get by here. He's going to have to get right up alongside him before he can take advantage under brakes. But Tony not shy at all in the rain as Mazira walking back. Pity.
Bad luck for Thomas Mazira. I get his bad luck has paid off a little for Wayne Gardner in heat number 2. And Longhurst, as you mentioned, with the sole running BMW, making some strides here on Peter Brock as they head up the hill. But it'll be interesting just to compare these two cars as they run down the hill. Gardner doing a good job. And here's Brocky with Tony Longhurst. So that the Commodore gets away from the Bimmer down the hill, and then Tony has to try and do it all for the remaining 3/4 of a lap to haul him back in again. There's JB heading back to the pits.
We don't see it, no. And Glenn Seaton now as well.
Problems there for Seaton.
That's be the first non-finish that he's had. We pick up on that one a little later, but Glenn Seaton out of the race, out of the first heat that he's failed this season.
Gee, that is disappointing. And he was anything but happy. He was running just for the championship today, and they expected he had to finish in the top 6 to lock up the championship. Look at this.
He's trying everything. You just have to get the power down at a time when you've got a little real estate in front of you, and Tony hasn't got enough real estate in front of him at the moment.
He's driving superbly, Longhurst, but Brocky, who seems to be on that 7,500 RPM limiter, for every gear change. The thing has been bobbling and cackling all season long. Here's the chance now for Longhurst to really stretch it under brakes as he comes up here on Brocky. But Brocky is onto the brakes early. Just a little dab here. Says, if you want to pass me, go around the outside, Tone.
Well, he might just do that. I'll do that.
I'll have a shot at that. The only trouble is that puts you on the wrong side for the next turn.
Exactly. Just run out of road there a little bit.
Here's Wayne Gardner. He likes the wet and didn't like it too much on a Honda, but I tell you, he's doing a fabulous job here today in a Holden. As he comes out of the turn, he works away on Neil Crompton. Crompton will be checking out the mirrors thinking, oh no, not Captain Chaos. This is Wayne's best showing in the championship. So the lead still held by Jimmy Richards, Neil Crompton, Wayne Gardner. Field day for Commodores here, and the Fords, well, you saw John Bower go off in the first turn. Dick Johnson's just gone into the pits now, and Glenn Seaton is out of the race. So the Fords have a little bit of work to do. It's the first time they've felt the pressure.
Well, this is a terrible day for the Ford teams. Crompton holding off Gardner.
They come to the bottom of the hill. They exit out of that turn. Up towards the top of the hill again. Richards is long gone. And Crompton dreading this. Gardner poking the nose down on the inside. Oh yes.
I think
he said, oh no. And we're not casting any disparaging remarks about Wayne Gardner. It's just the fact that poor Wayne, every time this season he's stuck his nose into a hole in a tight situation, it just hasn't worked out for him. Either he's gone off or he's taken someone with him.
Right. He's been nicknamed.
Oh, look at this Gardner just levelling to get it sideways. Well, this race could have been something different had it not been for the first corner. Let's go down to pit lane and Andy Rain.
Yes, a very disappointing early exit, Mark. It was helter-skelter down there for a while.
Yeah, no, it was. I didn't get a very good start, really, Andy. I bogged a little bit on the line, then I had a fair bit of wheel spin, so I didn't get the world's best start, but there was a bit of biff and barge on down there, and Thomas probably went down a bit of a hole that didn't need to be there, but that's how it is.
Here's the battle for second. That could go either way. Hopefully it won't see the two of them go off. Because you have Neil Crompton.
A little touch.
Little touch to say, come on, get off the brakes if you want to go racing. And at the same time, you've got Wayne Gardner in third, and gaining on them all the time is Tony Longhurst with the headlights ablaze on the little B&H BMW, and he's already been past Peter Brock. So I tell you what, this you could get a BMW up in the second here today.
Well, if these two make